Have you ever felt like you're pouring yourself out, giving too much? Like you're always there for friends, for family, for co-workers, yet somehow you're the one left empty, drained, unappreciated. You say yes, when every part of you whispers no. You answer every call, reply to every text, solve every problem, hoping it'll make you enough, valued, loved. But instead, you feel invisible, like your needs don't even matter. You're carrying the weight of everyone else's expectations, running on fumes, wondering why you're still not enough. What if the secret to transforming your life, your relationships, isn't giving more, but giving less? What if the key to being truly valued is learning to be unavailable? Carl Jung, the man who dove deep into the human soul, knew this truth better than most. He didn't just study the mind, he lived its wisdom, carving out sacred space for himself in a world that demanded his everything. Boundaries, Jung taught us, aren't walls. They're shields forged to protect the fire of your true self. This is for you, the one tired of being everyone's savior, exhausted from trading your peace for approval. You who's ready to reclaim your energy and rewrite how the world sees you. Jung's wisdom isn't about shutting others out. It's about letting your authentic self shine so brightly. Only those who honor your worth can stand in your light. But this path, it takes courage, discipline, a willingness to face truths that might shake you. Are you ready to stop being endlessly available and start being powerfully present? Let's step into Jung's psychology and uncover the power of being unavailable. Here's a hard truth. When you're always there, you're not just giving your time, you're giving away your power. Every yes to someone else's demands is a quiet no to yourself. Every moment spent fixing their problems is a moment stolen from your dreams, your peace, your growth. You think being there for everyone makes you strong. Jung would say, it makes you fragile. You're letting others define your worth. In his work on individuation, the journey to your true whole self, Jung taught that you can't grow if you're chained to what others expect. You're not here to be their crutch. You're here to build a self so complete. You don't need anyone's validation to stand tall. Think back to the last time you said yes, when every fiber of you screamed no. A friend asked for a favor when you were already drowning. A co-worker dumped their work on you because you're the reliable one. You agreed, but inside, that quiet resentment burned. Why? Because you betrayed yourself. Jung would call this a failure to honor your psyche, the inner voice that knows what you need to thrive. When you're endlessly available, you're not just stretching yourself thin. You're cutting ties with the self you're meant to become. And here's the brutal truth. The more you give, the less they value you. Why? Because when you're always there, you become predictable, taken for granted, like furniture in their lives, useful, but unnoticed, until it's gone. Jung's psychology offers a way out, a radical shift, the power of being unavailable. This isn't about being cold or selfish. It's about being fiercely selective, guarding your energy, like a sacred flame, choosing who gets your time and why. Jung believed true connection comes from authenticity, not accessibility. When you set boundaries, when you say no with unshakable conviction, you're not just protecting your peace. You're rewriting how others treat you. You're declaring, my time, my energy, my presence are precious. And that shift, it's transformative. People begin to respect you, to seek you out not because you're easy to get, but because you're worth having. They see you not as a resource to use, but as a force to admire. If this sparks something in you, If you're ready to reclaim your power, don't just listen. Join the Saffron journey. Building a stronger mind isn't a one-time act. It's a daily commitment to wisdom, growth, self-respect. Subscribe now for content that empowers you to set boundaries, protect your peace, and become the self Jung knew you could be. Hit that button, and let's unlock the power of being unavailable together. Why is saying no so hard? Why does that simple word feel like a betrayal? Like you're letting someone down, risking their love? Jung would point to your persona, the mask you wear to fit in. From childhood, you've been taught to be helpful, agreeable, likable. You've learned that saying no makes you selfish, unlovable. So you built a persona that says, "I'm here for you," because deep down, you fear boundaries will leave you alone. But that mask isn't you. It's a trap. Jung warned, when you live through your persona, you lose touch with your true self, the you that craves purpose over applause, meaning over acceptance. Every yes you say to avoid conflict feeds that mask and starves your soul. The power of being unavailable begins with breaking this trap. Jung's Individuation is about peeling back that persona, facing the fears that keep you tied to others' expectations, choosing authenticity over approval. When you set boundaries, you're not just saying no to others. You're saying yes to yourself, yes to your dreams, your rest, your growth. You're reclaiming the energy you've scattered and channeling it into becoming whole. And here's what Jung knew. The people who matter will respect your boundaries. They'll see your no as strength, not rejection. The ones who push back, who guilt you, who pull away, they were never yours to keep. By being unavailable, you filter out those who drain you and attract those who value your true self. Picture this: a friend calls, unloading their latest drama. They expect you to listen, to fix, to stay on the phone for hours, like always. But you're exhausted, fighting your own battles. Your instinct is to give in, to be the good friend. But what if you took a breath and said, "I hear you, but I can't talk now. Let's catch up later"? It feels wrong. Your heart races. Your mind screams you're selfish. But that no is a declaration of power. You're choosing yourself. Over time, that friend learns to respect your time, or they fade away. Either way, you win. You've protected your peace and shown the world you're not a doormat. That's the power of being unavailable in action. But let's go deeper, because Jung's wisdom isn't just about saying no. It's about why you say yes. That urge to be endlessly available often comes from your shadow, the hidden parts of you you'd rather not face. Your shadow holds your fears of rejection, of being unloved, of not being enough. When you say yes to everyone, you're not just being kind. You're trying to silence that shadow, to prove it wrong. But Jung taught, you can't outrun your shadow. You have to face it. Ask yourself, why am I so afraid to say no? What am I trying to prove? Maybe you fear losing people, being seen as selfish, facing loneliness you've buried. That fear is your shadow speaking. Until you confront it, it will keep you chained. Facing your shadow isn't easy, but it's freeing. Jung's Individuation invites you to sit with those fears, to journal them, to ask, what's the worst that could happen if I set boundaries? Maybe you lose a friend who only valued your availability. Maybe you face a moment of loneliness. But in that space, you'll find something greater. The strength to stand alone, the clarity to know your worth, the freedom to live for yourself. Jung believed true growth happens when you integrate your shadow, when you accept you're not perfect. You have fears, but those fears don't define you. By being unavailable, you're not just setting boundaries, you're embracing your whole self, shadow and all. So how do you master this power? Jung's psychology gives us 5 tools to transform your relationships and protect your peace. First, know your limits. Reflect on what drains you. Endless calls, last-minute favors, toxic conversations. Write them down. Be specific. Clarity is your foundation. Second, practice saying no. Start small. This week, decline 1 request without explaining yourself. Just say, "I can't right now," and let it stand. You don't owe anyone your reasons. Third, prioritize your inner work. Jung believed growth happens in solitude. Carve out time daily if you can, for reflection, journaling, meditation. This is where you reconnect with your true self, where you hear your psyche's voice. Fourth, model your worth. Act like someone who values their time. Respond selectively. Show up fully when you choose to. Let your presence carry weight. Your boundaries will teach others to respect you. Fifth, face your shadow. When guilt creeps in for saying no, pause. Ask, what fear is driving this? Write it down. Confront it. Let it go. Each no is a step toward claiming your power. If you're still here, you're not just listening, you're ready to transform. Rewiring your mind takes daily courage, and Saffron is here to guide you. Subscribe for content that fuels your journey to authenticity, helping you set boundaries, protect your peace. Hit that subscribe button, and let's keep building your power together. Now let's dive into Jung's vision, the self, the whole integrated you. That individuation seeks to uncover. The self isn't just your personality, it's the core of who you are, the balance of your conscious and unconscious, your light and your shadow. When you're always available, you're scattering the energy that could build yourself. You're diluting your purpose, fragmenting your soul across 1,000 obligations. But when you set boundaries, you're gathering that energy, channeling it into becoming who you're meant to be. Jung saw this as sacred, a refusal to let the world's noise drown out your inner voice. Jung's collective unconscious, the shared archetypes that shape us, holds the hero. The figure who faces trials, overcomes fears, emerges whole. The hero doesn't save everyone. The hero saves themselves first, so they can lift others up. By being unavailable, you're stepping into that archetype. You're choosing your quest, your growth, your purpose, over the world's demands. You're saying, I am the hero of my own story, and I will not let my energy be stolen. This isn't selfishness, it's sovereignty. The courage to live for yourself, not the crowd. If you're still here, you're not just listening, you're ready to transform. Rewiring your mind takes daily courage, and Saffron is here to guide you. Subscribe for content that fuels your journey to authenticity, helping you set boundaries, protect your peace. Hit that subscribe button, and let's keep building your power together. Now let's dive into Jung's vision, the self, the whole integrated you. That individuation seeks to uncover. The self isn't just your personality, it's the core of who you are, the balance of your conscious and unconscious, your light and your shadow. When you're always available, you're scattering the energy that could build yourself. You're diluting your purpose, fragmenting your soul across 1,000 obligations. But when you set boundaries, you're gathering that energy, channeling it into becoming who you're meant to be. Jung saw this as sacred, a refusal to let the world's noise drown out your inner voice. Jung's collective unconscious, the shared archetypes that shape us, holds the hero. The figure who faces trials, overcomes fears, emerges whole. The hero doesn't save everyone. The hero saves themselves first, so they can lift others up. By being unavailable, you're stepping into that archetype. You're choosing your quest, your growth, your purpose over the world's demands. You're saying, I am the hero of my own story, and I will not let my energy be stolen. This isn't selfishness, it's sovereignty. The courage to live for yourself, not the crowd. But there's a shadow side, and Jung never shied away from shadows. Setting boundaries will make people uncomfortable. They'll push back and it will hurt. They'll call you distant, selfish, because your unavailability exposes their dependence, their need to control you. Jung would say, this is their shadow projecting onto you, their fears of losing you, of facing their own emptiness. Don't take it personally. Their reaction isn't about you. The stronger your boundaries, the more you'll reveal who's truly in your corner. And those who stay, they're the ones who see your worth, who respect your power, who want you whole. The world you're up against doesn't reward boundaries. It rewards availability. You're praised for being the one who's always there, who never says no, who sacrifices for others. But Jung saw this as a trap, a way to keep you small, tethered to the collective's demands. When you choose to be unavailable, you're defying that system. You're declaring, my time, my energy, my life are mine to command. And that defiance, it's revolutionary. A refusal to let the world define your worth. A commitment to live by the wisdom of your psyche, not the noise of the crowd. There's a cost, and Jung never promised an easy path. Being unavailable means letting go of the persona that craves approval. The mask that says, I'm here for you, at the expense of yourself. It means facing the fear that saying no will leave you alone, unloved, rejected. You'll lose people. Friends who lean too hard. Family who expected you to carry their weight. Colleagues who thrived on your yes. That loss will sting, like shedding a skin grown too tight. But Jung would call it necessary. In individuation, you shed what doesn't serve your growth, even if it's comfortable, even if it's familiar. And in that shedding, you'll find clarity, strength, relationships built on mutual respect, not obligation. You'll find the peace of living for yourself. But here's what's waiting on the other side. When you master the power of being unavailable, you don't just protect your peace, you transform your life. You become a magnet for those who value you, not use you. You walk into any room with quiet confidence, knowing your worth doesn't depend on anyone's approval. Your relationships deepen because they're built on authenticity, not availability. Your energy becomes a force, not a resource to be drained. You start to live in alignment with yourself. And that alignment, it's freedom. The freedom to create, to dream, to become the hero Jung knew you could be. This journey isn't easy, and it's not meant to be. Jung wrote, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Every no you say, every boundary you set, is a step through that pain, toward consciousness, toward yourself. But you don't have to walk alone. Saffron is here, with daily wisdom to strengthen your mind, fuel your growth. Subscribe now, because transformation isn't a moment. It's a commitment to becoming whole. Hit that button, and let's keep forging your power together. Let's get practical, because Jung's wisdom is meant to be lived. Start today. Pick one area where you're too available. A friend who oversteps. A work demand that's unfair. A habit of saying yes out of guilt. Set one boundary, no matter how small. Turn off your phone for an hour to focus on yourself. Say, I'll get back to you tomorrow, instead of answering instantly. Notice how it feels. The discomfort, the guilt, the fear. That's your shadow. And it's okay. Sit with it. Journal it. Let it teach you. Each boundary is a brick in the foundation of yourself. A step toward a life where your peace is untouchable. Don't stop at one boundary. Make unavailability a practice. Schedule time for your inner work. 5 minutes of journaling, 10 minutes of meditation, an hour of solitude. Treat that time as sacred, non-negotiable, like a meeting with your future self. When someone asks for your time, pause. Ask, does this serve my growth? Does this person respect my worth? If the answer is no, let your no be firm, kind, unapologetic. Over time, you'll notice a shift. The people who drain you will fall away. The ones who stay will value you more. Your energy will grow, your focus will sharpen, and your life will reflect the self you're becoming. This is your moment, right now. Will you keep giving your power away, saying yes to everyone but yourself? Or will you claim the power of being unavailable, setting boundaries that protect your peace? Transform your relationships? Jung didn't write for those who want to stay small. He wrote for the heroes, the ones who dare to face their fears, shed their masks, become whole. You're here because a part of you is ready. Ready to stop being everyone's savior. Ready to save yourself first. So I'm asking you, are you ready to say no to the world and yes to yourself? Do something bold. In the comments, share a quote, a line from this video, something that sparked a fire in you, something you'll carry as you set boundaries. Let's see how many of you are ready to protect your peace. Live authentically, and don't stop here. The Saffron journey is about daily growth, and the next video is waiting to take you deeper. Subscribe for wisdom that will guide you to your true self, because transformation is a journey, not a destination. Hit that button, and let's keep going. See you in the next video.